And what about bathrooms inside versus outside, like the porta potties, the parks, the beaches, and so on? Ottawa just actually announced today that public washrooms at the beaches are going to be open, which I think is great news. But any difference in what you do in sort of the outdoor washrooms?
Yeah, theoretically, one might think there should be something that could be different. You're in a situation where you've got drainage is different. Things may sit just below your bottom a little bit closer. And as the summer goes on, I don't know if you've been to some of the public parks, but in Nova Scotia, and I've been to some of the PEI ones too, things kind of build up over the course of the day or the week. But again, this is not fully or even barely a GI spread virus. And if you wash your hands appropriately and are in and out in a reasonable amount of time, I'm not concerned. Port your pot on. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. And most importantly, I'd be much more concerned if people didn't have proper access to restroom facilities, as long as there's the ability to wash your hands. Take hand wash everywhere is my take home message for this summer. Don't rely on it for other people to provide it if you can afford it.
Sounds good. So it sounds like your message to businesses is it's safe to open up and we should be opening up public washrooms.
I would say that's a very good idea. And also, and this is not COVID time specific, I also think it's a good idea to have them cleaned appropriately. Not for COVID, but
Yeah,
pick your favorite GI disease that you can get that's infectious. And it's a good idea to clean bathrooms to prevent those other GI viruses that you guys are much more a big fan of than I am.
how often? So how often should they be cleaning the bathrooms?
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that. If 0 people go into a washroom over the course of 3 days, then I'm not super psyched on them having to clean it 4 times a day in rural PEI where there's nobody going into a particular washroom over the course of 3 days. So I think, number one, we have to be pragmatic when we're approaching businesses and people about having to reopen. It's not about the number of times per day. It's if a washroom is getting regular use, make sure that it gets cleaned with appropriate cleanser multiple times a day, at least twice, and perhaps 3 times in high traffic times.